Okay, so we're in stage one of the rescinding of the stay-at-home order. And we thought everybody's relieved and hey, we're out of the woods, it's going good. And again, like I've said, that ain't the way it's gonna be. Again, I had to go to the store. This time I stopped at the food line because it was on the way to where I was going, to my bank. And just when you thought it's over, it's going to get better, the sci-fi movie thing starts setting in. So I go to the food line, and generally food line, I was at one in another city, but just the one in Greensboro. It's a big sign, enter on this side. They got two entrances, or in the front storefront where the carts are, on the left-hand side and right-hand side. Well, there's a big sign that says, must enter here. So you gotta go to the right-hand side, you go in, and you enter the store as usual. And there's somebody there with the carts, and they're sanitized. And there are these signs, one way only, and they point. So I go into the store, and then all the aisles have one direction. In other words, you gotta go up this aisle here, and travel down this aisle here towards the front. And there's signs on the shelves that say one way, okay, when you go up the aisle or come down it, whatever way. And if you get an item, put it in your cart, turn around and look the opposite way, hence from where you came, all the signs are red that say stop, wrong way, do not go this way. So now, and I don't know about the two main aisles. I guess it's two-way traffic. There was no signs. But to go up and down the aisle, you have to go one way. Now, if you don't do this, or if you violate this, I don't know if they remove you from the store or what. Or, you know, there weren't that many people in the store when I was there, actually. And there were, actually I went through 3 or 4 aisles and there was nobody whatsoever in them. I went up and got what I needed to get to one item, and then went down the right way down to the checkout counter and left. So I said, that's weird, and you know, a lot of these companies like Costco and that, I really don't think they want to do it, they're forced to do it. Because I guess people were suing Costco that they made the employees work and they got sick and they passed away, so it's all their fault that they caught the virus and died, and they're going to sue them for $10 million over this. So in a way I can't blame a large corporation for doing that, but it's kind of like the fact that they're forcing them to do this after we supposedly are going into our you know, stand down from this crazy stuff. Why didn't they do this back during the lockdown a month ago? Why didn't they implement this? They're like, the minute they start relieving something, they're implementing some other weird crap. Which, when you look at it, what's the main thing with people? They're very, like I said, they're very narrow-minded, shallow people that all they do is rush in traffic. That's where you get road rage, all this other stuff. And every time you go in there, like on the holidays, everyone's pushing, shoving. Now all of a sudden, everybody has to go around in line very calmly. Just like in that one movie I suggested, stay calm. We're here to help. Don't get upset. You know, stay indoors still. Even though they've lifted the restrictions, stay put. Don't have contact with others other than your core family. Only listen to the official broadcasts, you know. And don't listen to social media and people like this ass telling you that it's all a bunch of shit and it's crazy. And there's some sort of strange social change or social experiment going on. So I said, okay, get back in the car, no big deal. Went in there, got stuff, got out. I said, all right, I understand. Like I said, you know, they're large corporations, they're changed, maybe they're getting forced to protect themselves, which in a way I don't blame them. So I head to the bank, which the one branch that's open that has a drive-through that you can go to, because they closed all the other branches of the bank totally other than the ATMs. So I go up there, I go through the drive-through, and as usual, the way the bank sits in this parking lot, there's two driveways, one here and there. One of them kind of, you go down to the front of the building, which is off to the side, and you've got a parking lot there. And there's a second one where you just go and just go in, make a turn, and you're right in line to the tellers. Either the drive-through teller or the drive-up ATMs. There's, so there's a wide set of islands. There's 3 drive-up tellers and 2 ATM lanes. Okay, so that's kind of how it's set up. It's one of the main branches there in Greensboro. So I get it through the parking lot, get there, and I go to the one little driveway where you just would turn in and then go right into the line. It's got little red cones. And I've exited the other side once I've gone through the drive-through, but I've never really gone in that other driveway. So now I got to loop around, go around the parking lot, go to the other entrance. So I drive through that entrance, go down around the building, and there's more cones to where you could just take a shortcut and just turn and go to the lanes. They got rid of that. So that's all blocked off with cones. You got to go all the way through the back of the parking lot, and from the back of the parking lot come into the lanes to do the thing. This wasn't there last Thursday when I went to the bank. I guess all of this is, Monday, all started this week. And this is like a week after they lifted the restrictions. So even though he's releasing the stay-at-home order, there's more and more of this weird crap where you have to do all this roundabout stuff. They're like enforcing these other little bizarre things, which in reality, I do not believe it'll help. First of all, during the midst of this stay-at-home order lockdown, they weren't doing this. Okay, Costco did limit people because Costco is huge. Okay, I mean, they just fly in there. So Costco does limit you and all this other stuff. And yes, Walmart had this thing set up about a week ago. But basically at Walmart, what you would do, and they did seal the one door, which they kind of changed that. They opened it up again. They did it for a few days. But they do have a person there that when you go in, they count. And they do limit how many people are in that building at one time, which is quite large. So I don't know what the number is. I know like a little convenience store, a little tiny convenience store gas station has a sign that says there's only 8 people allowed inside the store, because it's not huge, at one time. But my question is, when I walk in there to either buy gas or something, how many people do I know are in the damn store? Okay, what, I gotta come in and count them, and if there's 8 or 9, I have to leave and stand outside till one comes out? I don't know how you regulate that. It's kind of nonsense. But this is something new, and I believe the bullshit ain't gonna stop with these people. This is gonna, they're gonna lift this stay-at-home order and restrictions, and they're just gonna make it almost impossible to just normally go about doing what you want to do. Okay, under the guise that they're protecting me, and they're keeping people who are a threat to society like me that don't adhere to these bizarre go in the line, wander around, or wonder why you have to do it, or wear a mask all the time. Okay, yeah. This is where my enemy of the state status is starting to elevate on a daily, weekly basis, I guess. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but in reality, like I said, they're trying to put a damper and clamp down on people in society. They're trying to regulate movement, give them self-discipline, pace them, slow them all down. Okay, when everybody's hyped up and crazy and on the roads, and I see it more too. That parking lot, people were very aggressively driving through the parking lot. So in a way, and whether you think it's a minor convenience or not, this is an underlying thing that's going to agitate people, because this is a form of psychological control. And a lot of people aren't quite stable psychologically. So this will have an effect on people, and I think a very negative one in the long run. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that's my latest trip into the new, fascist police state that we live in.